Okay, I need you to think about this for a second. 1 year ago, she was days away from getting married. She had a ring on her finger, a wedding venue booked, a dress probably, a man she had been with for 7 years, and then she canceled it all. And now, less than 12 months later, she has just publicly introduced the world to her brand new boyfriend. And not just any boyfriend, one of the most controversial, most hated, most complicated men in the entire music industry. Taylor Swift fans are not okay right now. I'm gonna tell you everything. The full timeline, the drama behind Scooter Braun, the questions nobody is asking about this relationship, and the one detail at the end that changes everything. But first, let me ask you something. Is this a love story? Or is this the most calculated move in Hollywood right now? Stay with me, let's get into it. Let's start with Sydney Sweeney. Because if you only know her from memes and headlines, you're missing the real story. Sydney is 28 years old, born in Spokane, Washington. She grew up in a small town with very little money. Her family moved to Los Angeles so she could pursue acting, and it paid off. She broke through in 2 huge HBO shows back-to-back, The White Lotus and Euphoria. Her role as Cassie Howard in Euphoria made her one of the most talked about actresses on the planet. Right now, as of this week, she is everywhere. Euphoria Season 3, the final season, just premiered on HBO. It's the show's first new episode since 2022, and it's already making headlines for some very bold, creative choices. At the same time, The Housemaid, her film, is performing massively well. One source just confirmed that Sydney Sweeney hit #1 in both television and film in the same week. That is almost impossible. That does not happen. So she is at the absolute peak of her career right now, which makes this week's news even more interesting because she chose this week, the biggest week of her professional life, to go Instagram official with a man who half of Hollywood despises. Why now? We'll get to that. To understand this relationship, you need to know about Jonathan Davino. Davino is a Chicago-based businessman, 14 years older than Sydney. They got together in 2018 when she was just 20 years old. They dated quietly for years. He was her rock while she became famous. By 2022, she had a diamond ring on her finger. They were engaged. They were supposed to get married in the spring of 2025. Venue booked, date set, and then in February 2025, TMZ reported they had postponed the wedding. Then in March, it was over. Not postponed, canceled. The engagement was off. 7 years, done. A source told People, the wedding is not happening, and they aren't having further discussions about it. Sydney wanted to cancel everything. Another insider explained that Sydney felt the wedding was overwhelming her. Not her career, not her fame, the relationship. She said it didn't feel right. And Sydney herself said something very telling around this time. In a Cosmopolitan interview, she said, "After I had a few months of just crying my eyes out, I asked all my friends, how do I do this? I've never dated before. I've never even used a dating app." Think about that. She went from a 7-year relationship straight into her 20s with no idea how to be single. And within months, she was in Venice, Italy at one of the most glamorous events of the year. And she met someone. Jeff Bezos, yes, the Amazon billionaire, got married to Lauren Sanchez in Venice in June 2025. And it was the event of the year. Everyone who is anyone was there. Tom Brady, Orlando Bloom, Katy Perry, and Sydney Sweeney, and also Scooter Braun. According to sources, the two hung out all weekend in Venice. And there was an instant connection. One insider described the dynamic like this. Sid was intrigued. Scooter's a charmer. He's confident, but also sweet and very attentive. Another source said, the attraction, she is hot as can be. And he is an old soul who is helping her guide her way through sudden fame and her exploding career. He gives great advice. They have what each other wants. Now, before we go any further, who exactly is Scooter Braun? Because if you do not know his full story, you do not understand why half the internet is currently in meltdown mode over this relationship. Scooter Braun is 44 years old. He is a music executive and talent manager, one of the most powerful in the world. His biggest claim to fame? He discovered Justin Bieber. He found a 13-year-old kid on YouTube in 2008 and turned him into the most famous pop star on the planet. From there, his client list became a who's who of pop music: Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, Kanye West, Usher, Carly Rae Jepsen, the list goes on. For years, he was untouchable and the ultimate industry kingmaker. And then came 2019. In June 2019, Braun's company purchased Big Machine Label Group, the record label where Taylor Swift recorded her first 6 albums, for an estimated $330 million. And as part of that deal, he acquired the master recordings of every album Taylor Swift had ever made: Fearless, Speak Now, Red, 1989, Reputation, all of them. Taylor found out when everyone else did, when it was announced publicly, and she was furious. Taylor Swift went public with a statement that sent shockwaves through the entire music industry. She called Braun an incessant, manipulative bully. She said she had begged and pleaded for a chance to buy her own masters and was never given a fair opportunity. The internet exploded. Hashtag I Stand With Taylor trended worldwide, and the music industry took sides. It became music's biggest feud. Taylor responded by doing something that had never been done at her level. She re-recorded all 6 albums, every single one, Taylor's version, and fans followed her. It took years, but in 2025, Taylor Swift finally bought back her original masters. She won. And Braun, he had already retired from music management in June 2024, saying he was stepping back after 23 years and the loss of a major client. He didn't name the client. He didn't have to. And it wasn't just Taylor. In August 2023, multiple top clients left him. Ariana Grande, gone after a decade. Demi Lovato, gone. J Balvin, gone. So, by the time he met Sydney Sweeney in Italy in 2025, Scooter Braun was no longer the most powerful manager in music. He was a man rebuilding his image. And Sydney Sweeney, fresh from a broken engagement, emotionally raw, newly single, walked right into his life. The question everyone is asking, is this good for her? Let me walk you through exactly how this unfolded, because the pace of this relationship is actually one of the most interesting parts of the story. June 2025, Venice, Italy. They meet at Jeff Bezos' wedding weekend. They spend the whole weekend together. They keep texting after. Sources say it's casual at first. September 2025, word gets out they are dating. But sources insist Sydney is not exclusive and in her single era. They are seen at a dinner in LA and then, this is cute, at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. With her parents, he met her parents at Halloween Horror Nights. That is not a casual date. November 2025. They are photographed making out in Central Park in New York City. No more casual talk. Insiders now say it is hot and heavy. One source told a news outlet at the time, they talk every day and see each other often. I don't want to say the L word, but it feels like the L word. January 2026, photographed holding hands in Brentwood, California. Just walking, comfortable, easy. April 7th, 2026, the Euphoria Season 3 premiere. Sydney walks the red carpet solo, but inside the theater, she and Scooter are filmed kissing and holding hands. It goes viral on X. April 15th, 2026. Today, the hard launch. Sydney posts a black and white photo on her Instagram story. She is smiling. Scooter's arms are wrapped around her from behind. She adds one white heart, nothing else. Scooter reposts it immediately. His caption, "Lucky bastard." And just 1 hour before she posted, Scooter shared a post celebrating that Sydney Sweeney just went #1 in both television and film. He's proud of her. He's championing her publicly. That is not nothing. Now, the internet has questions. A lot of questions. Red flag 1, the Taylor Swift connection. This is the big one. Taylor Swift's fan base, one of the largest and most loyal in the world, has called Scooter Braun the villain of her story for years. He is the reason she had to re-record 6 albums. He is the man she publicly called a bully. And Sydney Sweeney, who by all accounts is friendly with Taylor's wider circle, is now holding hands with that exact man. Swifties are not happy. Sydney's comments have been a lot. Red flag 2, the age gap and the pattern. Scooter is 44, Sydney is 28. That's a 16-year gap. Now, here's the thing people keep pointing out. Her ex-fiancé, Jonathan Davino, was also 14 years older than her. She seems to have a clear type, and Sydney herself addressed this in a Fandango interview. She said, and I am not making this up, honestly, I've been learning that I like a circus, just a bunch of red flags. She literally said that about herself, about the men she dates. Red flag 3, the divorce settlement. When Braun divorced his ex-wife, Yael Cohen, in 2022, the settlement was eye-opening. According to documents obtained by People, he walked away with joint custody of the children and the couple's assets, including a $65 million mansion, more than 100 pieces of artwork, a private jet, and multiple properties. Then his ex-wife also reportedly paid $60,000 a month in child support to him. People are saying this is a man who knows how to negotiate in every room he walks into. Red flag 4, he has 3 young kids. Sydney, at 28, is now in a serious relationship with a man who has 3 children, sons Jagger and Levi, and a daughter named Hart, all under 12 years old. And reports say she has already met them. Is she ready for that? Is this what she envisioned for her late 20s? Now, I always give you both sides. So let's talk about why this could actually be great for Sydney. Green flag. A1. He already met her parents, and her brother loves him. This is not a casual hookup. Sources say Sydney's brother Trent, who she is very close to, genuinely likes Scooter and thinks he is good for her. Green flag 2. He is not managing her. He is supporting her. There is no power imbalance in the sense of a boss-employee relationship. He is retired from management. He is not in control of her career. He cheers from the sideline. That hour before she posted celebration post? That feels genuine. Green flag 3. She said it herself. She is a hopeless romantic. Sydney told Cosmopolitan, I do believe in true love and wanting to be with someone for the rest of my life. So I'm not going to. You won't see me jumping around a lot of places. She is not a serial dater. She commits. The fact that she is going public with him means she has thought about this very carefully. The timing of the hard launch is not an accident. She did this the same week Euphoria launched, and The Housemaid hit #1. And she chose to step into the public eye as a couple at the exact moment she is most powerful professionally. That is not a woman being swept away by love. That is a woman in full control of her narrative. Before I give you my final take, here are the things I still want to know. Question 1. What does Taylor Swift think? She has not commented. She has not posted. Her team has said nothing. But do we really believe the woman who turned a master's dispute into a cultural movement has nothing to say about this? The silence is loud. Question 2. Jonathan Davino was with her for 7 years. He watched her become one of the most famous women on earth, and now he is watching her walk red carpets with Scooter Braun. There is no public statement from him, but this cannot be easy. Question 3. Is this serious enough for a proposal? One outlet noted that at the Euphoria premiere, Sydney wore a striking all-white cape dress. And People pointed out, celebrities rarely wear white unless they are priming for something. Is an engagement coming? And question 4. What happens to her fan base? Sydney has worked incredibly hard to build a loyal following. But Swifties are a force. And if that community turns on her, that could actually affect her projects. This is a real business question, not just a gossip one. Okay, here's what I think. Sydney Sweeney is a smart, self-aware woman who just spent the last year rebuilding herself after one of the most public breakups in recent celebrity history. She came out the other side with 2 #1 projects and a new relationship she clearly believes in. And Scooter Braun is complicated. His history is real. The Taylor Swift situation is real. The divorce is real. None of that disappears. But here's the thing. People change. Industries change. The version of Scooter Braun who was buying masters and losing clients by the dozen is not the same man posting lucky bastard on Instagram at 44 years old. Is it perfect? No. Is it controversial? Absolutely. Is it a story worth watching? Without a doubt. What I know for sure is this. Sydney Sweeney chose this moment. She chose this week, the biggest professional moment of her career, to go public. That is deliberate. That is a woman who knows exactly what she is doing. And whether you're rooting for them or not, you cannot look away. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Team Sydney and Scooter? Or do you think this is a red flag? I genuinely want to know where you stand. If you are new here, subscribe and hit the notification bell. This story is just getting started, and when there are updates, you will hear them here first. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.